Welcome back for another video. In this video I'll be sharing my final Gameweek 1 team selection. After weeks of tinkering with drafts throughout the pre-season, nearly there. If you're new to the channel, every week this season I'll be sharing my team and covering key talking points concerning the game week. Last season I was number 1 in the world for a bit, so you've come to the right place. One final reminder to join the fplfocal mini league. The code is OHQB6D, and auto join links in the description along with the code. There's also an invitation link to the Discord in the description too. We just hit 10,000 members, which is a huge milestone. I'm online every day chatting and it's totally free, so get involved. And of course, if you'd like to follow my content this season, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Starting off in goal, and the Gameweek 1 goalkeeper is Ederson, who's at 5.5 mil for the first time since the 2018-19 season. Man City have had statistically the best defence for 4 of the past 5 seasons in terms of expected goals conceded. Chelsea were the only team to beat them by half an XG 2 years back. Man City have just about as good as fixture run as you could ask for, all the way to Gameweek 10. Last season, Man City conceded the fewest shots, so the downside to the Ederson pick is that he's less likely to get you save points from free shots saved. The back four is Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, James and Digne. Among defenders, Trent was top for corners, crosses, chances created and expected goal involvement last season. They got his price completely wrong in my opinion at 7.5 mil, and his ownership is likely to only rise further. I therefore really like the double up with Robertson, as you stand to gain more from Liverpool clean sheets, and it was a tough decision to leave Robertson out. Cancelo was second among defenders for expected goal involvement last season, and we've also discussed Man City's strong defensive numbers, which is why I've doubled up in defence. Walker's a solid pick for 5 mil, considering City's lack of alternative options at fullback, coupled with Laporte's injury, which does reduce the likelihood of Ake playing the fullback, which could push Cancelo to right back in Walker's spot. This was another tough call, as 2 mil is a significant saving, though Walker has next to no attacking threat, while Cancelo picked up 12 goal contributions last season. The news in the Everton camp this week is that Calvert-Lewin's facing up to 3 months out injured with a torn ligament, and they're up against Chelsea in Gameweek 1. This only adds to James's appeal, as Everton will head into Gameweek 1 with no recognised striker, with Rondon suspended for the fixture. Astonishingly, despite only playing 1,800 minutes, James was third among all defenders for expected goal involvement last season, and he's such an explosive asset on his day. The Tottenham fixture in Gameweek 2 is a concern, but we're looking longer term with this pick. Villa face a Bournemouth side in Gameweek 1 who are in poor shape. Quoting manager Parker early this week, he said, "We're 6 days out from the start of the Premier League season and we're way short where we need to be. That's just the cold hard facts. We barely have any defenders. We've lost 8 players at the start of the season, and at this present moment in time, this squad is much weaker than it was 2 months ago when we got promoted. Of course, no disrespect to those who we've got, and I didn't anticipate to be where we are this close to the start of the season. I think we look a bit vulnerable anyway. So I love the upside that Digne offers, as he's very attacking, he takes some set pieces, and Villa capable of shutting Bournemouth out here. He is somewhat of a short-term punt, which I'll talk about more at the end, where I see myself going." Salah was one of few players who's been in every single draft. For me, there's absolutely no doubt in my eyes that he's in my team. Top scorer in FPL for 3 of the last 4 seasons, and Golden Boot winner last season. He's been looking so sharp in pre-season, and he has Fulham in Gameweek 1. It's important to look at captaincy rotations when planning. In Salah's case, he's almost set and forget as captain. Gameweek 3 is the only fixture where you could make the case for betting elsewhere. Gameweek 2 perhaps a toss-up if you're a Haaland owner. The toughest decision has been Robertson or Diaz, and I've landed on Diaz. Last season, Robertson scored more points per match, and he is cheaper, so it feels like perhaps an incorrect decision, but it's so heavily dependent on the rest of your team structure. It's a challenge to fit in both Trent, Robertson and an 8 mil midfielder, and the 8 mil bracket is an important one to cover, as there's 7 midfielders 8 mil who could easily all become great picks to hop on. For me, it was James, Martinelli and Diaz, or Robertson, Neto and Saka, and the former combination edged it for me. Martinelli has impressed in pre-season with a goal and 5 assists, and he's a lock to start against Crystal Palace. It's certainly his spot to lose anyway, but even then Smith Rowe's out for Gameweek 1. Arsenal have some of the best opening fixtures, so you need at least one midfielder or forward in your team. Bailey completes the midfield in continuation from the points made when we discussed Digne. He's only 5 mil and he's had an excellent pre-season, scoring 3 times and assisting twice. Gerrard has indicated that Bailey isn't his first choice 11 as it stands, so it's a great punt for only 5 mil. Villa will likely line up with Coutinho and Bailey either side of Watkins come Gameweek 1. Villa have 4 good opening fixtures, though there is the option to move off Bailey if he doesn't play out, which I'll discuss towards the end. Another huge decision is Kane or Haaland, and it's Kane who makes the team. This one's an absolute nightmare of a decision. In typical FPL style, you'll always feel whichever one you pick will be the wrong one. I'll make the case for Kane by saying you're buying a proven FPL asset, and his numbers were sensational after Conte's arrival last season. Southampton at home is a fixture which suits Tottenham perfectly, and Kane is second after Salah for predicted points in Gameweek 1. Game Week 2 is the headache when Kane faces Chelsea and Haaland has Bournemouth. My thoughts are that if it looks like a mistake, then I'm not opposed to switching Kane to Haaland straight off the bat. Jesus completes the 11 and he's just broken the all-time record for ownership. If you missed it, he's been incredible in pre-season since signing for Arsenal and passing the eye test too. 7 goals and 1 assist in pre-season at a rate of a return every 34 minutes. He certainly won't sustain these numbers in the Premier League, but at 8 mil with great fixtures and a lack of alternative forwards, he's a logical pick. Onto the bench, and then I want to discuss a key decision I've made with this team which you might have missed. On the bench is Ward, Williams, Pereira and Archer. Schmeichel has left Leicester, which means it's the 2 4-mil keepers, Ward and Ederson, currently fighting for the number 1 shirt. It's a bit up in the air which it will be. Come Game Week 1 probably Ederson, but longer term I think Ward. Nico Williams looks like the best of the 4-mil defenders. Forest signed him this window from Liverpool and he's expected to be first choice right wing back. Patterson's in my consideration too, and if Lampard indicates that Kane was out for a long time in the next press conference, I might be tempted to switch. Pereira is comfortably the best 4.5 mil midfielder in the game, even picking up a couple of assists in pre-season from corners, so he could potentially be on set pieces too. Harry Wilson's picked up an injury which will rule him out for around 2 months, so Pereira's looking even more nailed than he likely already was. None of the 4.5 mil forwards are expected to start any games, but Archer perhaps the likeliest to get some minutes, though he will be a permanent fixture last on the bench anyway. So one decision I made with this team is Bailey over Neto. There's little to separate the two in my opinion, yet Bailey does come in 0.5 mil cheaper. The spare half mil gives the flexibility to move Digne to Perisic in Game Week 3 if it looks like a good asset. Or likewise, if Bailey's a mistake, then there is the potential to move him to 5.5 mil midfielder. Last season I went into Game Week 1 with half mil in the bank too, which came in handy, and it is also insurance against price movements. At the start of the season, the transfer activity is at its peak, with lots of impatient managers. There'll be hundreds of thousands of managers making transfers mid-game, let alone mid-week. I'm really excited for this season though, so here's to another good one. And that does conclude the final Game Week 1 team selection. Thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be making videos every game week all season to help you get a better rank and win your mini leagues. See you soon for the next one.